This is long overdue, right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right, you all good? Okay, well, we will go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome the winner of the 2022 Valero Texas Open, JJ Spaun. JJ, congratulations. I know you've been working hard and long for this. With the win, you moved to number 10 in the FedEx Cup. I couldn't help but overhear earlier you were telling somebody that about this time last year you didn't even know if you'd be out here playing golf. So obviously this is a special day for a lot of reasons. If we could just kind of get a little recap on the week and how you're feeling.
Yeah, I feel like I've been playing good for a really long time this year, even starting back in the fall, and just been staying patient. And, you know, I know this course is a good course for, you know, being patient and hitting fairways and hitting greens, and, you know, short game is a big deal around here, and I think I chipped it fairly well. Yeah, it was just one of those weeks where I kind of had a good feeling about it all week long. I mean, I just been playing well, and it was about time that I was due to string 4 good ones together, and fortunately that's what I did today.
Well, now that we're on the other side of it, I can ask you this. When you doubled number 1 today, what was your mindset?
I was pretty upset. But the only thing, the saving grace to that, or the thing I learned from that was, like, it's the first hole. Like, if I was 2 over through 5, it probably would have, it would have felt different. Mm-hmm. But I knew because it was only the first hole, like, you just got to forget about it. You know, I mean, I actually thought to myself, if I was at 8 under starting on the 4th round and playing the first hole and I made par and I was 8 under, I would be happy. Because the first hole is actually really tough, especially with that wind. So I just didn't let it bother me, and I just tried to overcome, and I did.
That's fantastic. Okay, well, we'll open it up and take a few questions from these guys. We'll start right here. This light's blinding me, so go ahead.
It's Tim.
Okay, sorry, you're just shadows to me.
JJ, I think you were at 10 under on Friday.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, and then to drop back a little bit from that, you know, how did that affect your week, and how did that affect your thinking, you know, heading into, I think that was on 9 on Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot had to have gone through your mind since that.
Yeah, I think I got it to 10 and I finished at 7 under. So I dropped a shot on 6 and I hit a poor shot on 7 and then made a sloppy bogey on 9. But it's a lot of golf. There's a lot of golf left, and I knew with the wind picking up, you know, halfway through our second round that it was only just going to get harder. And I knew I would still be in a good position. I wasn't getting lapped out there finishing at 7, even though you would like to have a cushion or be at the front runner. But maybe that made me feel comfortable kind of being, you know, coming from behind and chasing the guys up at the top, because it's obviously really hard to play with a lead, and I've never even done that before. I think the best I've ever been was tied for first going into the final round. And but yeah, I didn't really care. I just tried to stay in the moment and put up the best number I could.
JJ, Doug mentioned a year ago today you didn't know where you'd be, right? A year later. Well, here you are.
Yeah.
A year ago today, or a year ago approximately, you missed the Texas
Yep.
Open. Can you describe like where you was at after that?
Yeah, it was. I technically lost my card the COVID year, but they gave everyone that didn't keep their card another year. Basically, we were in like a reshuffle category, kind of like the rookie category I'm in now, or was. And I was just playing bad. Like, I was lost. I didn't know where my swing was. I didn't know what to do. I had been just working hard at it too. Like, that's the thing. I was putting so much into my game and getting nothing in return and just playing worse. But I had a lot of things going on, and I just, you know, I started thinking, like, what am I going to do? Like, there's no way I'm going to keep my card. I've made 60 FedEx Cup points, and I have, you know, potentially 12 tournaments left if I shuffle up at any point, because I'm in this reshuffle. No start is guaranteed in that category. So, yeah, it was dark, and I think losing my card was probably the best thing to happen to me last year. And I went to Korn Ferry Finals and fought hard and won it back in the first tournament. I didn't win, but I got it back, finishing tied for second place. But I think that's kind of what I needed, maybe. It wasn't a lack of effort or being lazy with my game or anything. It kind of was like a switch that needed to be flipped, and maybe something with confidence that I needed to find once again.
With all that in mind, just what does it mean to you overall to now have this first PGA Tour victory under your belt? What are the emotions like right now?
Yeah, it's still unbelievable. Like I knew I could win out here on tour. When I first got out here, I was playing really good. And then obviously I had a step back kind of, 2 years ago. And I don't know, it's just perseverance, just trying to push through and just stay strong. And it's a great feeling to be in the winner's circle. And now it's like a game changer. So I'm just happy with the people that I've surrounded myself with. My caddy's been such a great influence on me. We just started working pretty much a year ago. This week, I think our first tournament was New Orleans, and he's so positive and so instills confidence in me that it sometimes gets annoying, where it's just like you're just being, patronizing kind of in a way. But it just made him just nailing it into my mind like every day, like just being so positive, and it's helped me. And I think a lot of credit has to do with that.
You mentioned perseverance, and we see that some even within your rounds. I'm thinking also of the tee shot on 18. Kind of, what are the nerves like before and after that one?
Yeah, so I should have just hit like a 3-wood, because there's no, like, we were going to lay up no matter what. But I've hit a terrible tee shot there every day. And I wanted to, like, make a point, make a statement, like, I'm going to do this. It was kind of a stubborn thing. But, yeah, I couldn't believe it. And so yesterday I hit it, like, 50 yards right. But it was a different wind, and it was in off the left. But this one's down off the right, and I feel comfortable with that because I like to just hold my fade up there. And I just completely, like, smothered it. Like, I did not want to go right. And I was like, oh, my God. Please be, like, on the property or something. But, yeah, I mean, I got up there, and I got a lucky break. It was a good lie. I mean, there's one little rock in the way, but it wasn't like, it could have been really bad. I could have, but I think that was just one of the lucky breaks that you got to get to win. And it came at the right time.
And what does it mean to you now to be heading into the Masters next week?
It means the world. You've only dreamed of playing there, for most of us. And to think that we're going to be heading there tonight or tomorrow is incredible, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait, and hopefully I can have another good week there too.
JJ, you mentioned some of the adversity that you fought through, getting your card back. Do you think that kind of helps you lend perspective when you're out there and you are struggling, you have a bad hole? You just mentioned I don't care, which I don't think you don't care, but I think you keep that mentality straight. Does that perspective of the last couple of years help you in those moments? 100%.
I mean, perspective is everything, really. Like the perspective of, yeah, I doubled the first hole to be at 8 under, but I was like, well, what if I was 7 under going into this round and I birdied the first hole, and I'm like, now I'm only 2 back. Like, it's easy to kind of go to the negative side of things, and I think just not letting it affect me and accepting the terms that that happened was the best thing to happen, and just push through as best I could.
JJ, what are the top 3 things you're looking forward to at Augusta National?
Magnolia Drive, that drive. Par 3 contest, and a pimento cheese sandwich. Not too many, though.
Coming down the stretch, you weren't bombing it with the putter. You had 4, 5, 6 footers. How are you feeling over the putter with as much tension as there probably was out there?
Yeah, I felt pretty confident. I was just trying to reflect on the clutch, shorter putts I made all day long. And fortunately, a lot of the putts I had were like simple reads. Like, it wasn't tricky, and it wasn't like a downhill slider. It was all kind of like uphill or right to left, just play it right center and just knock it in the back of the cup. And I changed my putting grip a little bit this week from what I've used in the past. So it was very uncomfortable at the start to like commit to it, but it started to get good because I knew technically it's what I had to do, but just the comfort of it was tough. But I'm glad it was comfortable, during these clutch situations too, because I was like, oh no, like new putting grip, 6-footers to keep leads and stuff. But hey, it worked out, and it was a good switch.
What exactly did you change in your putting grip?
So my right hand it gets a little too on top of the grip, so like my right forearm gets higher than my left, so it kind of, it's not like a perfect plane with the shaft and your arms, so I had to kind of strengthen this right side to get it more underneath the grip, so it's more like in my lifeline in my fingers versus like kind of on top like an actual golf club. So that got my hands and forearms more on like the same sort of squareness instead of it being outside. And then I would kind of, so when it was on top, it would be kind of left. So I'd be kind of hitting like these like wipey putts. But this is more like down the line, like easy. So I think that's why I hit a lot of, and the biggest thing with that would be like contact issues, like because you're just kind of not aligned properly. So now my contact was pure, and that's kind of what you need on those short putts, is just to hit the center of the putter head every single time. And that's the only way you can really put a true roll on it. And it was a good switch that I made on Saturday last week, and I stuck with it, and it paid off.
Just slightly strengthening that.
Yeah, just kind of getting this right hand more underneath the grip, like gripping it like that versus two like on top, because then this right hand forearm gets on top, and then you have to manipulate the path of the putter to really get it on line, like a straight through stroke. So it was just one little tidbit that my buddy told me and worked out.
One last thing about your round today. Where on the golf course today, what moment did it occur to you or that this would be your day? I'm assuming it wasn't number one.
No. Number one, I was probably like, oh, what am I going to do to top 10 this week? I want to say, I think when I chipped in on 9, like I hit a 8-iron from like 100. It's just a hard hole to hit, the green in regulation, and I kind of like tugged it, and it just flew with the wind, and one hopped over, and it's the best spot to leave it there for that pin, but it's not a good spot. It's the best, but it's not good. Like, you want to be on the green. But I just hit this like high little softy kind of flop, and it just trickled out, and I ran up the slope to see, because it was a blind shot. Pretty much I could see maybe half the pin. And it was just like trickling out the hole. I thought I left it short, but it just kept going and going, and like it went in. And I think it was like the third hole out I had all week. And after that was kind of where I was like, okay, like now I'm at 11. No, 8. I don't know. Was I? Yeah, no, I was at 11, I think. So and I knew 10. I knew Bo was at 11 or 12. So I was like, okay, like to chip in like that from that spot, like that's kind of good things are happening. Yeah.
I've just got one last question, actually a write-in question from Philippines media that wants to ask about your heritage, family heritage. Do you still have family there? Just kind of bring us up to speed on family heritage.
So my grandfather on my mom's side, he's not from the Philippines, but his parents were, but they moved to California, and he was born there. But he spoke Ilocano, which is like a dialect of Tagalog, and he's from a very small island. I wish I remember what it was, but my whole mom's side, they're all half Filipino and half Mexican, so that's what makes up my heritage. And sadly, he passed a few years ago, but he was kind of the main Filipino person in our family.
Are any families still over there, or
not that I know of? Not immediate family,
okay.
No. But that's just my heritage.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, JJ, congratulations. We couldn't be happier for you, and certainly wish you the best of luck down the road this week.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.